Celebrating 100 years of our chamber with Dan Cheshire, a local business owner who represents not only his own business, but our community and what the chamber means for us going forward. We're so happy to have him tell a little bit about his experience with the chamber and what it means for us going forward. Thank you, Dan.
Chamber was just a fantastic experience for me because being a part of something that affects so many small businesses around here and just the many great things that they did. So my experience was all positive, not without its share of hiccups, but it was just a fantastic experience. Great group. I can't tell you how the chamber has influenced and helped small businesses in our community, even large businesses in our community.
What was your initiative? What did you bring to the table? I know everyone somewhat has something like that. So can you talk a little bit about yours?
I've been involved in a lot of nonprofit boards and groups. And one thing that I wanted to do was to highlight those groups. So one thing that we did during my presidency was to begin a nonprofit expo at one of our lunches. And that was an opportunity for all of the nonprofits in our community. And there's a bunch of them. There's some big ones that do great, but there's some obscure ones also. It was my goal to get all of them in a room at the same time around business leaders like us who have the ability to help out in things like that. So it was a nonprofit expo that we highlighted all the nonprofits in our community that do such great work.
And I think that took place at the center.
It did. Mm-hmm.
Which is also a nonprofit.
Yes,
so it was like nonprofits giving back to other nonprofits.
Yes, absolutely. And that was such a good thing. I don't know how many nonprofit members that the chamber currently has, but I would bet that it's 100. Because there's a lot of civic-minded, good people in Somerset, Kentucky that help out in those things.
So talk a little bit about your family. So they've been here in Somerset for quite a while. And then what does that success look like? There's been momentum and many years established with Dairy Queen, your family. How does that relate to the chamber turning 100 years old?
My dad started our business, Burger Queen restaurant, on Highway 27, June 22nd, 1970, on his anniversary. My parents have stayed happily married, the whole time, which is a rarity in the restaurant business, he would say, because a lot of times that work-life balance is many times uneven in the restaurant business. Just the history that he has, he started off here, and he only visited Somerset one time previous to moving his family of 4 at the time from Louisville to Somerset. And just the business community from that point, it was a real popular place. It was the second restaurant, on 27, second or third. There was Finley's, Burger Queen, and I think Jerry's opened a little bit later. But being the first people out on the brand new 4-lane bypass, that was something. It was built in basically just a field. There wasn't anything around it. But it was very successful. And my dad ran, one of the top stores in the chain for many, many years. And from that was able to springboard and open many more Burger Queen restaurants in Southern Kentucky and Northern Tennessee. But the chamber, the chamber is a group of loyal businesses that no matter what, there's many of them. Having served on the chamber board, there's many of them that anytime you ask, what do you need? What do you got? We can do it. We can help. We can either help financially with membership or sponsorships. We can help. We like to help a lot with food. People can help with various other donations, but Somerset's just a very giving community that never says no, and that, in my opinion, is a sign of a great community and a sign of leadership.
So How has the chamber changed?
Before my involvement on the board, I didn't have a whole lot of exposure of the inside of chamber. You see, Christmas parade and holiday auction, things like that have kind of been a staple. I think that from my perspective, we saw kind of a slow burn, until I was involved, and then once you get to look behind the curtain and see all the inner workings of the chamber, once you reveal that, then you can say, well, that maybe that wasn't a slow burn. Maybe it was mildly hot, but now it's our chamber's on fire. Our membership is up. Our services are up. Wildly successful at just about anything we touch.
What would you say to someone? Why should they invest their energy and their financials into the chamber?
I think it's a wise business decision because I think the return it far exceeds a dollar for dollar. If it were dollar for dollar, it'd be worth it. But involvement in the chamber, provides such a return if you put your effort and energy into it. The amount of doors that can open if you're involved in the chamber, they're just exponential. Whatever you need, if you're a member of the chamber, there's somebody who knows how to fulfill that need. And if they don't, then they can put you in contact with somebody who can take care of that need. Our chamber's filled with a bunch of shakers and a bunch of movers, again, touch on that same point, who can just get things done. And mobilize resources, whoever they need to be, to get things done.